Coming up on the Q30 Newscast, we have more on student safety on university and school campuses due to an incident in Hamden, and more on the announcement of leave of 2 senior administrators at Quinnipiac.
With that, we take a look at public safety upgrade on campus. This year, universities like Quinnipiac are seeing an increase in applicants. We have more on how this is impacting the Bobcats.
Plus, all you need to know about the upcoming total solar eclipse next week and how you can view it right here on campus.
All that and more coming up on the Q30 Newscast. It is Wednesday night at 9:30. Welcome to the Q30 Newscast, live inside Studio 125. I'm Clever Streich.
And I'm Santino Mayoni. 2 suspended students were arrested on Thursday for bringing weapons into the ACES Whitney High School's campus in Hamden and for pulling the fire alarm. Q30's Ava Crossley has more on how this incident is raising concerns about safety on school and university campuses.
On Thursday, March 28th, 2 New Haven 16-year-olds wielding knives entered the ACES High School in Hamden. The students, who were suspended earlier in the day Thursday after a dispute with another student, returned to the school later, each possessing a knife. One of the students additionally pulled the school's fire alarm. Hamden Police Captain Anthony Diaz stated in a Thursday news release, quote, "The 2 students were detained by security and staff members until police arrived. There were no reported injuries," end quote. The 2 students were both charged with conspiracy to commit second-degree assault, trespassing, and carrying a dangerous weapon. The incident at the ACES school this Thursday is just one instance of violence on high school campuses in recent years that has many worried.
At my school, I'm from a small town, and nothing like that really happens. But when I was in senior and junior year, there was an increase in violence and fights at my school.
To a lot of Americans, it seems like since the pandemic, schools have been having more and more disruptions on their campuses, and they have. According to the Institute of Education Sciences, students have been being generally more disruptive in the classroom environment, with 56% of schools reporting an increase in classroom disruptions due to student misconduct that they believe was caused by the pandemic. The rate of physical altercations, on the other hand, have actually remained pretty stable since the pandemic, with 32% of schools stating they saw an increase since 2020. But other disruptive tendencies may make it feel like grade school students are having more problems than ever.
I'm gonna say maybe it's desensitized, video games and movies and whatnot, and kids being exposed to it so young might make it feel normal for them.
The 2 students from the ACES school appeared in juvenile court in New Haven this Tuesday for their charges. Reporting for Q30 News, I'm Evangeline Crossley.
Kalila Brown-Dean, Associate Provost for Faculty Affairs, and Alicia Spearman, General Counsel and Vice President for Human Resources, are leaving the university next month. Brown-Dean and Spearman are Quinnipiac's 2 most senior female administrators of color, and their departure brings the total number of high-level resignations to double digits since October of 2022. Brown-Dean is leaving the university on April 26th to take a position at Wesleyan University. Spearman is leaving next month to become the Girl Scouts of Connecticut's next chief executive officer. In a statement given by the university regarding Brown-Dean, they said, quote, "I feel very fortunate that Kalila has spent the last 13 years sharing her commitment to students, faculty, and staff here at Quinnipiac. The institution is certainly better for it. She leaves big shoes to fill, and I look forward to all of the impact she will have in her new role," end quote. As for Spearman, after this announcement, she said, quote, "As a Hamden native, it was very enjoyable to work in my hometown and serve as a brand ambassador for QU. I'll be rooting for more continued success for all Bobcats. This will be a new and exciting opportunity as CEO of the Girl Scouts of Connecticut."
Chief of Public Safety Tony Reyes invited Quinnipiac students to a public safety open house Monday, April 1st. The Department of Public Safety, in partnership with the Student Government Association, hosted the event to showcase the public safety space and the services they provide. Reyes said, quote, "This event will be the first of many events we hope to have for our community to promote our public safety services."
It's never been a more popular time to apply for college in New Haven County, as Quinnipiac and Yale saw record pools for admissions this year. Q30's Joe Monti has more on the avalanche of applicants.
Quinnipiac has seen an increase in undergraduate and graduate applications to the university. Tom Ellett, Chief Experience Officer at Quinnipiac, is happy to see the increased interest in the university.
I love it because I get a chance to build relationships with students, and it's great to see motivated, excited, and involved students on a college campus.
Members of Quinnipiac have been working to ramp up excitement for the university off campus.
We've also built very strong relationships with high school guidance counselors. It's been a real strategy of ours. We've had hundreds of counselors post-COVID visit the campus.
On campus, the university has increased tours and made changes to its strategy when it comes to how the tours are approached.
We had a consultant come in and review our tours. We changed scripts in training for our admissions ambassadors. It matters when you do that in this, what kind of offering do you do for the sophomore high school students compared to the junior, compared to the seniors?
To some, it's no surprise that Quinnipiac has had such an increase in applications. Quinnipiac's been in the headlines recently for new academic programs, athletic wins, and a new partnership with Hartford Healthcare, to name a few. However, a common factor among students as to why they chose Quinnipiac is the campus itself.
I thought it was really pretty, honestly, just like the mountains and the scenery kind of like convinced me to go here.
Some students who are new to campus within the last couple of years have experienced those new and improved tours firsthand.
Yeah, the tour guide was super helpful. She gave like a lot of good tips and like asked questions and answered all of my questions too.
Quinnipiac continues to see an increase in student applications. However, the university does not plan on expanding beyond its current limits. Reporting from Quinnipiac, I'm Joe Monti, Q30 News.
Thank you. Now, Santino, now that it's raining more than ever, I know that we still have each other, as we'll find out our weather preview for the next 3 days.
Oh, clever. Let's find out if you need to stand under my umbrella, again tomorrow. Q30's James Blano has your look ahead on the forecast.
Thanks, Clever and Tino. Yeah, today we got more rain coming up, a high of 43 and a low of 38 degrees. And tomorrow, you thought the rain was over? Nah, we're just joking around with you. There's more rain on Thursday with a high of 44 and a low of 36. And not necessarily here comes the sun, but on Friday we're going to have the high of 49 and a low of 33. So be sticking around to hear the rest of the week forecast and the radar. When we come back from this commercial break, don't go anywhere.
When we adopt a shelter pet, we discover they're a unique mix of all kinds of things.
Come on, Jules, spotlight on this last one. There it is. Keep going with it. Leo.
They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love.
Meet the scan, a simple procedure whose mission is to detect lung cancer early.
I'm here to save you!
But I feel fine.
That's great, but you may still be at high risk for lung cancer.
Oh man, that's a new fence.
If you smoke, early detection could save your life. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
We're back on the Q30 Newscast. On Monday, the Student Center was enlightened about environmental change and the future of songbirds. Associate Professor of Biology Scott Davies hosted a lecture on the environment as part of the Sigma Xi series. Members of the community were invited to attend and learn more about how urbanization affects an animal habitats and a song breeding's season. Davies has been a professor at Quinnipiac since 2017. He's previously studied songbird mating habits at his research at Arizona State University.
Politics are in the spotlight this week as the primary elections continue to unfold.
As Donald Trump and Joe Biden vie for the Republican and Democrat nominations respectively, Brianna Trachtenberg has more of our political update for the week.
The Biden administration is close to approving a sale of 50 American-made F-15 fighter jets to Israel. The sale is expected to be worth more than $18 million. This would be the largest U.S. foreign military sale since the start of the Israel-Hamas war on October 7th. The sale is expected to be highly debated within Congress. U.S. weapons sales to Israel have come under intense scrutiny during the past few months. Democratic lawmakers have advocated for restriction of military aid to Israel until they allow for more humanitarian aid to Gaza to help protect more civilians there. Now, moving down south, the Florida Supreme Court has paved the way for a 6-week abortion ban to take in effect. By continuing to uphold Florida's 15-week abortion ban, it has also triggered a 6-week abortion ban approved by Florida lawmakers last year. The law will be taken into effect in 30 days. This will make Florida one of the most restrictive states in the country to obtain an abortion. In a separate ruling, the state Supreme Court also approved the wording of a state constitutional amendment that would protect the right to an abortion in Florida. The amendment would need 60% of voters' approval in order to be passed, and if it was, it would undo both bans. Now, finally tonight, with the 2024 presidential elections inching closer and closer, let's take a look to see where the candidates stand in the polls. President Biden and former President Trump currently stand as their respective parties' nominees as they prepare to battle out again in November. Third-party candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has been making his impact on the polls. While he has only gained enough signatures in about half a dozen states to appear on the ballot, he is currently the most likely third-party candidate to impact the race. Kennedy has averaged 10% in the polls, making him the highest third-party polling candidate since Ross Perot in 1992. Kennedy will have a long battle ahead of him if he wants to make an impact on the ballot in November. Now, that is all I have this week for political news. Santino and Clever, back to you guys on the desk.
For the first time in 7 years, the sky will go dark in parts of America for one magical moment. The solar eclipse is coming up, and Quinnipiac is hosting a watch party on Monday, April 8th. Q30's Carter Kane has more on the event and how to view the eclipse safely.
2024 is kicking off with any astronomer's dream, a total solar eclipse that's viewable in the United States. A total solar eclipse is when the moon passes between the Earth and the Sun, completely blocking out the face of the Sun. The official date of the eclipse is April 8th, and people in Connecticut can view the partial eclipse between 2 and 4:30.
A big rule of the solar eclipse is you need to be wearing specifically rated glasses in order to safely view the solar eclipse. We asked Professor Robert Frischetti, who teaches astronomy here at the university, a little bit more about this rule.
There are standards for what amount of light that your eyeball can hear, and more importantly, the sensor in the back of your eye can withstand, and it's very strong sunlight. Want to block out everything but about 1,000th of 1% of all the light.
Q30 also had the chance to speak with Professor Nicole Granucci, who has been studying astronomy for 20 years and has also had the opportunity to work with NASA on projects through the Teacher Achieve Research Program.
So they do happen often, and every couple of years, but it's just the timing and alignment that makes it rare. So the next real total eclipse that we'd be able to see is, I think, for 40 years. So when people say it's like one in a lifetime experience, it kind of is. So if you could see it, I would say just do it. You have to see it.
Like Professor Granucci said, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. So if you do get the chance, make sure you have your specialized glasses and go get a glimpse of the eclipse. Coming from the Carl Hansen Student Center, this is Carter Kane, Q30 News.
Bobcat Nation can enjoy the eclipse by taking part in an astronomical viewing party in the Mount Carmel Quad. The event will take place from 2:43 on Monday, as the eclipse will peak at 3:27 p.m.
To safely observe, students will be able to gaze at the eclipse through telescopes and construct homemade projectors for themselves. The event will feature a discussion with Assistant Professor of Physics Robert D. Fischetti, who will share the science behind that phenomenon. That's taking place 2 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. And then at 3:30, of course, the main event. Yeah. Hey, Tino, let's play a guessing game.
All right. Hit me, Clever.
What's 90 seconds long and has weather, financial, and national news on the other side of it?
I'm going to say, is it the break we're about to have?
Yes, it is. We'll be right back on the Q30 Newscast.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer.
She's on the honor roll.
She's just not the type.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way. My kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping. Maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfie, nailed it. We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's split a ride home.
We're back with more on Q30 News. Santino, I don't know about you, but I'm excited for some more meteorology. To quote Hamlet, "Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to find out the weather, I know not."
Clever, I don't think Shakespeare wrote it like that. But anyway, luckily, we have James Blano back in studio for this week's forecast.
Thanks, guys. We're back with more weather. Today we got a high of 43 and a low of 38, and more rain tomorrow with the high of 44 and low of 36. Friday, the rain finally stops. Hallelujah. We got a high of 49 and a low of 33. Saturday, a little bit of overcast for softball home opener. High of 52 and low of 35. Nice weather for some April ball. Sunday, I hope you're a Beatles fan because here comes the sun. We got a high of 52 and a low of 35. Monday, we got a high of 63 and low of 32. True spring weather, but of course in Northeast fashion, those low lows. And as we head into Tuesday, we got the high of 62 and a low of 41. And now to the state of Connecticut forecast for tomorrow. We got Stamford with a high of 48 and a low of 38 with more rain. New Haven, more of the same with high of 45 and a low of 37. Danbury with a high of 44 and low of 34. Torrington, high of 39, low of 31. Over to Hartford in the east, high of 41, low of 34. Norwich with a high of 42 and a low of 35. And New London with a high of 44 and a low of 36. Rain all across the state, as you can see on your screen now. Keep your eyes peeled and keep your umbrellas ready because that rain is going to be coming down. Those April showers are true this year. That's all I got for the weather. Back to Clever and Tino at the desk.
The collapse of the Baltimore Key Bridge has impacted not just the state of Maryland, but the United States as a whole. Q30 Sydney Weimer has more on the collapse and any impact Connecticut residents may experience.
The recent collapse of the Francis Scott Key Bridge in Baltimore could potentially have lingering impacts on the economy. The bridge, a previous major shipping area that distributed among the entire East Coast, was tragically struck by a cargo ship on March 26. The disruption in transportation will be noticed throughout the East Coast, even though it is hard to predict as of right now what troubles exactly will arise. A business professor at Quinnipiac spoke on the matter, sharing the extent to which he believes Connecticut will be impacted.
The ships will end up going to other ports. So it will increase the cost for the shipping companies, which will ultimately be passed on to the consumers. But I don't think Connecticut will be affected that much.
Though Connecticut will not be heavily impacted, Elahi continued to share that the economic aftermath of the collapse will likely show delays in road transportation.
Lot of goods that would have come to that port via ships, now they will be sent via road. So as a result, there will be more traffic on the road, and that will definitely cause some delay.
As of right now, the negative impacts on businesses in Connecticut who rely on constant deliveries, such as restaurants, are likely to also remain at a minimum. President and CEO of Connecticut Restaurant Association, Scott Dolch, told Q30 News in a statement that, quote, "I don't think the collapse will have any direct impacts on Connecticut restaurants, outside of some traffic delays and detours for trucks. It could delay some build-out equipment for restaurants looking to remodel or open new restaurants, but nothing specific as of yet," end quote. While Connecticut residents should likely avoid any major impact from the loss of the port, East Coast natives as a whole should expect delays in road transportation. Reporting from the Lender School of Business, Sydney Weimer, Q30 News.
Thanks, Sydney. Staying on the topic of national news, Ashley Potvin has our look at the biggest stories around the country this week. Ashley?
Thanks, guys. There have been several significant events that happened around the country this week, so let's get right into it. One man was left dead and 5 others were wounded in a shooting in Tennessee this past Sunday. During an Easter brunch at a restaurant in Nashville, 2 males, one of which was armed, got into a quickly escalated argument. 46-year-old Anton Rucker shot and killed 33-year-old Alan Beecham. The incident is still under investigation as the police continue to look for Rucker. The Tennessee Bureau of Investigation has added him to its top 10 most wanted list and is offering a $2,500 reward for his arrest. Moving further south on Sunday, just under 1,000 Gutaway migrants illegally entered the United States through the southern border. A Customs and Border Protection source announced that 919 immigrants who are not recorded in the official border numbers each month pass through the border. The migration wave has affected several states in the nation apart from the southwestern region. Denver city official Andreas Carrera told the migrants, quote, "We are not going to block you if you want to stay here. If you stay here, you are going to suffer even more, and I don't want to see this," end quote. According to a recent Gallup poll that was made public on Friday, many Americans continue to view illegal immigration as a serious problem. Boeing continues to face challenges, and the latest one has to do with United Airlines encouraging its pilots to take unpaid time off in May of this year. Due to overstaffing issues caused by delays in Boeing aircraft delivery, United Airlines has extended an offer of optional unpaid leave to its pilots for the upcoming month as per corporate and union memos. Additionally, pilots have the option of a blank itinerary where they will be allowed to select and trade trips. Although the actions are limited to May, United's Pilots Union informed its members that additional unpaid leave programs are anticipated throughout the summer and possibly into fall due to delays in deliveries. That's all I have for national news this week. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Ashley. Now, Tino, on a bit of a lighter note, it was Easter on Sunday, and amidst all of the egg hunts and ham on the table, that bunny was generating some serious money.
Yeah, Julia, what did the Easter Bunny bring to the economy this year?
Well, Clever and Tino, the Easter Bunny was expected to bring the economy the gift we all want, $22 billion. While the holiday is celebrated through religion, it is also a day full of chocolates and food. On average, individual consumers spent roughly $177, down from $192 in 2023. Racking up this grand total is an estimated $3.5 billion being spent on clothing, $7.3 billion spent on food, $3.1 billion spent on candy, and $3.4 billion spent on Easter gifts. With inflation on the rise, retail chocolate prices were said to have risen 11.6% in the United States. In the United States, 91 million chocolate rabbits are sold, making them a big part of this spending. Now, while we saw an increase here, switching gears, Tesla has seen a dramatic loss. Tesla fell, reporting a significant miss of the first quarter. The EV company has seen a decrease in worldwide delivery, plummeting its stock. In quarter one of 2024, Tesla delivered 386,810 vehicles, dropping immensely from quarter one of 2023 at 422,880. Coming out of quarter four of 2023, Tesla delivered 97,700 less in quarter one of 2024. While this drop was anticipated, it was significantly worse than expected. On Tuesday, Tesla stock closed at 4.9%. Tesla revealed it will report its first quarter results after the bell on Tuesday, April 23rd. Clever and Tino, what do you guys think of Tesla?
Yeah, Julia, I don't think Tesla's stock is very electric right now.
You know, you're a pretty clever guy. I'm going to tell you that. But
the name fits, am I right?
It really does. This could be a tough time for Tesla and its CEO, Elon Musk. The company's shares lost more than a third of their value this year.
Well, as the Tesla stock drops, we also have to drop out for a quick break. We'll have QU sports news and an untree-leavable story when we return.
I know what you're thinking. I need a job. I need a new career.
Well, I've been there.
I've been there.
I've been there. I wasn't happy with what I was doing. After high school, I didn't have a plan.
I just wanted to start working. I got laid off twice, but you gotta keep going.
You just need the right skills. Find an apprenticeship.
I found a 2-year IT program.
I found a medical course online.
I'm now a consultant in the tech space.
You have more options than you think. You can do this. You will find something.
You will find something new.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made home ownership happen. Homeschooling yourself on loans, beefing up your credit score.
So I'm pre-approved.
You were like, yes! Sorry. Color coding listings, ticking boxes, and flushing every toilet in a 20-mile radius. Home sweet home. You aced House Hunter. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Type 2 diabetes can have a big impact on your life, but how can it be prevented? Well, the first step is knowing if you have prediabetes, a serious medical condition that puts you at high risk for type 2 diabetes. 1 in 3 American adults has prediabetes, but more than 80% don't know they have it. The good news is, prediabetes can be reversed, and for many people, healthy changes in their daily routine can make a big difference. Take the 1-minute risk test today at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Thanks for staying with us. Now, Clever, it's been a big week in Quinnipiac sports.
Yeah, Tino, Quinnipiac had its fair share of overtime thrillers in the NCAA tournament, and some familiar faces went pro when it was all said and done. Brittany Braun-Lehman joins us to break it all down.
Thanks, Santino and Clever. Now, let's move right into Quinnipiac sports. I don't know if you guys knew this, but this was a big weekend for hockey. This weekend, the men's ice hockey team took a trip up to Providence to compete in the NCAA Hockey Regionals. The number 3 Bobcats' first matchup was on Friday against the number 2 Wisconsin Badgers. After the game ended tied 2-2, Victor Trineski scored the game-winning overtime goal for the Bobcats. With the win, the Bobcats went to take on the number 1 Boston College Eagles on Easter Sunday. With a quiet first period, the Bobcats got the puck moving in the second period. Jacob Quillen and Avari Rossman scored back-to-back goals, giving them the early lead. Boston College answered back, tying the game 2-2. By the end of the second period, all the goals were scored off power plays. This game would yet again head to overtime, where Boston College would win 5-4. After this weekend, assistant captain Jacob Quillen signed with the Toronto Maple Leafs for a 2-year entry-level contract with an average annual value of $875,000 beginning in the 2024-25 season. Quillen skated in 39 games this season with 46 points. He was also the recipient of the ECAC Gladiator Best Defensive Forward. Last season, Quillen scored the overtime winning goal for the national championship game and was named Frozen 4 Most Outstanding Player Award. That's all I have for sports. Back to you guys at the desk.
Staying with sports, as Brittany mentioned, the QU men's ice hockey team was in Providence, and alumni from across New England and the country drove to the Ocean State Capitol to support the Bobcats in their journey to defend their national title.
Gage Kilborn has more on the story.
Something is brewing in Providence's Trinity Brewhouse, and it is not just the beverages. The Quinnipiac Alumni Association decided to show out for the men's ice hockey team's quest to repeat as national champions.
Sure, so obviously hockey's been a tremendous success in the last 30 years around here, and it's been very easy to get alums and parents to be engaged around success. And coming after a national championship last year, we have to continue to harness the moments where alumni and parents can come together and celebrate and be a part of really special events.
The Alumni Association did a fantastic job planning this event here in Providence at Trinity Brewhouse, and it's been great to see so many of the members of the Quinnipiac family come out and cheer on our Bobcats.
Not only was it great for the alumni to come out and watch their alma mater on the ice, a few of the players and parents were pleased with all the support.
Well, it's really just heartwarming to you as a father and and a person who's involved in the program as a parent. It's great to know that your son or daughter, whoever comes to Quinnipiac, is well taken care of and well thought of and put in a very positive light by the alumni.
I think it's great to have them. I mean, like Jaden said it perfectly, like it's a brotherhood here. Whether they were here last year or 3 years ago when we were freshmen or sophomores, like they come back and support us because like they are still part of the program whether they're here or not. So having their support was awesome. It was great to see them.
The Alumni Association hopes that the men's ice hockey team advances to the Frozen Four to keep the tradition alive. Reporting from Trinity Brewhouse, Gage Kilborn, Q30 News.
Thanks, Gage. Now, as this is our final time on the Q30 Newscast, Clever and I would like to say our goodbyes. I've never been somebody who enjoys watching the news. Because of that, it never occurred to me to get involved in the news department in Q30. However, after COVID subsided and we were back to being in person, Katie Cohen and Olivia Cattell asked me to do a sports segment for Newscast, and I was like, all right, sure, without really knowing what I was in for. Now I'd like to thank Katie and Olivia for getting me involved in the Q30 Newscast because it's taught me how important news is, and if I want to work in sports someday, there might be a job as a reporter or anchor for a local news station coming in the near future. Also, I want to thank Clever, as this was our third and final time anchoring the Q30 Newscast together. Every time we've gone on desk, it's been a blast, and I'm grateful for all the memories and the moments that we've shared together. Thank you to Clever and everyone I've worked with in the news department for one heck of a ride.
On March 17th, 2021, then Q30 News Director Kay Patty Ford pitched something crazy for my first ever time on this show. She asked me to walk across campus and deliver an unscripted live shot in front of the Quinnipiac Field Hockey Stadium. As a first year, I was terrified, but I said, yes, I'm in. That was only my second time on air at this station, but it's a moment that encapsulates what the Q30 Newscast means to me. It's a place that pushes you out of your comfort zone and trains you in every aspect of newscasting. I've had the honor of anchoring this desk for election coverage, and after Quinnipiac won its first ever National Hockey Championship, amongst other great memories. I thank Q30 News for every opportunity it's afforded me and the chance to grow from that nervous first year into who I am today. That's it for our show tonight. Be sure to follow us for more on X for Q30 News and to also visit our website at q30tv.com. For my good friend Santino Maione and everyone behind the scenes, I'm Clever Streich. Good night from Hamden.